Okay, let's unpack this. Headaches. Ugh, it's that universal unwelcome guest, isn't it? Can really just derail your whole day. Whether it's, tension or a full-blown migraine or just staring at the screen too long. Finding quick relief is usually priority number one. Today, we're diving deep into a really interesting stack of notes all about swift headache relief strategies. Our mission for you, to arm you with some practical, maybe even surprising ways to tackle those throbbing moments fast. And often without grabbing the pills first thing.
Yeah, and what's fascinating when you look through these notes is how often the simplest solutions get overlooked,
Yeah.
but they can be incredibly effective. A lot of these insights really cut to the core of what might be triggering the discomfort. So you understand not just what to do, but, why it actually works. And we're going to kick things off with a really foundational strategy, one that's, easy to forget.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's this first, often overlooked secret for, instant relief? Something we probably all forget.
You probably guessed it. It's hydration. Simple H2O. Even being just slightly dehydrated can trigger a headache. And the reason? It's pretty direct. Your brain, well, it can temporarily shrink a tiny bit from fluid loss, pulls away from the skull, and that tugs on the membranes, the meninges, and boom, ping signals. It's basically your body yelling, I'm thirsty.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just like a tiny sip then. The notes suggest you really need a decent amount, like a full glass or two.
Exactly. Don't just wet your whistle. And a little tip from the sources, room temperature water.
Oh, why is that?
It seems to absorb quicker. Your body doesn't need to work to warm it up first. Gets into your system faster to rehydrate things.
That's a great little detail. Okay, so beyond just water, what's another quick fix? Something classic.
Compresses.
Yeah.
A classic for a reason. But the key thing here, the nuance, is knowing which temperature to use.
Right, hot or cold.
Exactly. For those pounding migraines, cold is usually the way to go. A cold compress on the forehead or neck. It helps constrict the blood vessels, reduces that throbbing feeling.
Okay, cold for migraine. Got it.
But if it's a tension headache, often feels like a tight band, then warmth is your friend. A warm compress, maybe across the back of your neck or shoulders. It helps relax those tight muscles, boost blood flow there, eases the tension.
That hot-cold distinction is super helpful.
Yep.
Okay, now this next one. This is where it gets really interesting, especially for stress headaches. The power of your breath. The notes say deep breathing, meditation. It's not just like woo-woo.
Oh, absolutely not. There's real physiology behind it. When you slow down your breath, breathe deep from your diaphragm, you're actually activating your parasympathetic nervous system.
The rest and digest system.
Precisely. It shifts you out of that fight or flight mode.
Yeah, right.
And that directly calms your nervous system, eases muscle tension all over, head, neck, shoulders. Some people find guided sessions on apps incredibly helpful, especially when you feel that tension just starting to creep in.
Okay. Makes sense. Now, this next one feels like walking a tightrope a bit. Caffeine, how does that help? And what's the catch?
Yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword. Small doses of caffeine can actually relieve some headaches. It acts as a vasoconstrictor, narrows blood vessels. So if your headache is from dilated vessels, it can help.
Okay, so a little bit might be good.
Right, but here's the tightrope. Too much caffeine can absolutely make a headache worse, or even trigger one. And then there's caffeine withdrawal. If you drink a lot regularly and then stop suddenly, oof, headache city.
Yeah. The withdrawal headache. Vicious.
So it's really about finding that balance. A cup of green tea, maybe?
Yeah.
That's often suggested as a moderate option. Less caffeine than coffee.
Good tip. Okay, in our modern world, screens. We have to talk about digital eye strain. Big culprit. Right?
Huge. Super common trigger now. When you stare at a screen, your eye muscles are just constantly working, focusing. They get tired, strained, and that strain often leads straight to a headache.
So what can you do besides, quitting your job?
Yeah. The recommendation is the 20-20-20 rule. Heard of it?
Remind me.
Every 20 minutes, you look at something 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. It just gives those little eye muscles a break. Lets them relax. Simple, but effective.
20-20-20. Got it.
And kind of connected to staring at screens. Posture, don't slouch, right?
Absolutely connected. If we look at the bigger picture, slouching, especially that forward head thing we do.
Guilty.
Yeah, me too sometimes. It puts so much pressure on your neck, your shoulders, the base of your skull. That tension directly leads to tension headaches for a lot of people. Even small things help. Monitor at eye level, standing desk for part of the day makes a difference.
Okay, posture check. What about, Less conventional stuff, more natural remedies people might not think of.
Yeah, there are some interesting ones. Essential oils, for example, peppermint or lavender.
Really? How do they work? Well, peppermint has menthol. It creates this cooling sensation, can be quite soothing. Analgesic properties, too. Lavender is known for being calming, relaxing, just a little bit diluted on the temples or forehead, or even just inhaling it can be a game changer for some. Just, be careful. Don't get it in your eyes, obviously.
Right, good point. Okay, speaking of things people might not expect, diet. The notes mention food triggers.
Yes, absolutely. Certain foods can be hidden headache triggers for some people. It's very individual. Things like aged cheese, processed meats with nitrates, maybe artificial sweeteners, even chocolate for some folks.
Huh. How do you figure out your triggers?
Well, what's fascinating here and really empowering is the idea of keeping a headache journal. It sounds simple, but it's like becoming your own health detective. You track what you eat, sure, but also your sleep, your stress levels when the headaches hit.
Hmm.
Over time, you can start to see patterns, identify your specific triggers, and then hopefully avoid them.
Become your own health detective. I like that. And sticking with lifestyle, sleep. Quality is huge, right? Not just hours.
Oh, massively important. And consistency is key. Our bodies love routine. Going to bed, waking up around the same time every day, even on weekends.
Ah, the dreaded weekend headache.
Exactly. That often comes from messing up your sleep schedule. Training your body clock with consistency can really cut down on those morning headaches or the weekend ones. Sleep is restorative time. Don't mess with it too much.
Makes sense. Okay, now this one feels counterintuitive. When you have a headache, the last thing you want is to move. But the notes say gentle movement helps.
It does seem weird, right? But yeah, especially if the headache is from tension or sitting too long. How can movement help? Well, gentle movement like a walk outside, some light yoga, even just stretching your neck and shoulders, it does a couple of things. It helps relieve that muscle tension that might be causing the pain. And it boosts your circulation, gets more oxygen flowing, helps clear things out. Getting the blood moving can really make a difference sometimes.
Okay, worth a try, even if you don't feel like it, of course. Sometimes none of these natural tricks work, or the headache is just awful. We need to talk about other options.
Sure. And look, in those cases, an over-the-counter pain reliever like ibuprofen or acetaminophen might be necessary. They have their place. But the key takeaway from the sources is try the natural stuff first if you can. Don't make pills your only strategy. And what's really crucial here is knowing when a headache is more than just a headache.
Right. When should you actually be concerned?
If you're getting frequent headaches, severe ones, migraines that knock you out, or if they're getting worse, that's when you need to see a doctor.
This raises an important question. Sometimes a headache is actually a symptom of something else going on. Could be eye strain that needs correcting, high blood pressure, a sinus infection, maybe something more serious. You really shouldn't ignore chronic headaches or just, guess. Get it checked out. Find the root cause.
Absolutely. Get to the root cause.
Yeah.
Okay, one last tip from our sources before we wrap up this toolkit. Massage.
Ah, yes, massage. And what's great here is how effective even self-massage can be. You don't necessarily need a pro. Gently pressing on your temples, or that spot at the base of your skull where your neck meets your head. Yeah, that spot.
Right, just gently massaging there can be incredibly relaxing. It helps release muscle tension, improves blood flow right there, can really help take the edge off.
Nice. Okay, so, wow. We've really built out a comprehensive toolkit today. It covered everything from just drinking enough water and using hot or cold compresses to mindful breathing, taking eye breaks, fixing your posture, even the tricky stuff like caffeine and diet triggers, plus essential oils, good sleep habits, gentle movement, and massage. Lots of options.
Yeah, a lot. And if we connect this all back, the big picture, it really boils down to listening to your body, becoming that health detective we talked about. While these strategies offer quick relief, understanding your unique triggers, maybe using that journal idea, that's how you can potentially prevent them in the first place. It's about self-awareness, really. So this raises an important question for everyone listening. What hidden patterns, what signals might your body be trying to tell you?
That's a fantastic thought to leave everyone with. What stands out to you from today's deep dive? Start paying attention to those signals, maybe experiment with some of these natural ideas, and yeah, become your own health detective. You might be surprised what you find.